What's going on, you guys? It's Golden, back again with another build, and today I'm sitting here with Oliver. We got some new wheels, tires, and suspension to throw on this thing. I wasn't sure if I was going to make this a video, so it might not turn out as good as my normal ones, but I did get quite enough clips to turn it into one. Really mainly just a watch if you're bored, but also if you like car content, make sure you go and hit that like and subscribe button and watch this thing all the way to the end, because YouTube depends a lot on viewer retention. And I don't have the best luck with that. Anyways, without any further ado, let's get right into this build. All right, now here we have our brand new Kansei KNP wheels for the Miata. And I must say, these look crazy. Now we're gonna go ahead and run, get some tires mounted and balanced on these wheels. And then we also have some new suspension for the Miata. We got some teen coilovers from Japan. So hopefully this thing handles a lot better and looks a lot fucking cooler. Anyways, we're gonna run to the tire store with these wheels, get some, some new tires mounted and balanced, and I will be back once we have that done.
One eternity later.
After about 2 hours at Discount Tire, we finally have the new wheels mounted and balanced and on the car, and my God, these look insane. Now, the ride height is actually already almost perfect on these, because the previous owner of this car cut the springs and just called it good enough. But we have got, we've got one hell of a mess to clean up from unboxing all these wheels and everything. But we have teen coilovers from Japan that are going to be going on this Miata, and hopefully it's going to help us with drifting, it's going to help us with stability, and it's going to make the car look a lot better. And it's going to ride a lot better because, like I said, we are on the stock coils with cut springs. It sucks. It's terrible riding. First, we got to install these beautiful coilovers. And I mean, look at these right here. Ah, fuck. Okay, now it's all out of the box and put back together how it's supposed to be. So, these are our teen coilovers. Beautiful color. Funny enough, matches the car. That was not the plan. Wasn't thinking about it at the time, but hey, that's pretty damn cool. Now, I'm assuming these are going to be our fronts and these are going to be our rears just because of the size difference. If you look at the size of this one and then look at the size of this one, I'm thinking our smaller ones are going to be our rears. So we're going to actually open the instruction manual, figure out what everything is, because I have done this before, but on a Mustang, which has a solid rear axle, very different suspension from a Miata. So, we're gonna look at the instruction manual, see what's going on, drop this coil out, and put one of these in. All right, I low-key forgot to record some of this section here, so I'm just gonna show you guys the progress we've made so far. All I've done is this back quarter here, and as you can see right over here, we have the coilover installed. And yes, that's part of the reason I forgot. Yeah, that knuckle should have had stitches, but YOLO. This car has to be finished. But we have the strut on, first one, fully finished, assembled. I just tested it. I'm not going to be able to fully test how it sits. I want to finish that one up there first. But that's how it looks in the car, and my God, that is such a huge upgrade from before. We got it all bolted in here. One problem I ran into, and I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys, because if someone's watching this as something like, tips, I don't want them to run into the same issue when it could have been avoided by me telling them. You really do need to shave down those top hats a good little bit when you transfer them over from the old suspension, because that thread I just showed you was completely destroyed from me trying to force it on there to the point where the nut couldn't screw on. So I had to go rethread the top of that, so be careful about that. That's the only thing I've noticed about these coilovers so far that I don't like, is they use the OEM top hats for your Miata. Not a huge fan of that. I feel like it would look a lot cooler, especially in the engine bay, if you had the custom top hats, but I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and try to get started on this one here. About to take off this wheel, get this one all knocked out, and I will update you guys once we're adjusting the fitment and everything. So yeah, so currently working on the second strut tower. And ran into a small issue. This bolt just decided the second I hit it with anything, it was just gonna, round off completely. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that one off without a specialized tool and a new nut. And you know, rusted out bolts that round off really easy on a 30-year-old Mazda, I get, okay? It happens, it's whatever. You know, I get that. What I'm confused about, though, is right there. There should be a stud and a bolt coming through. And somehow I never put two and two together that there's not one there. So I don't know. I feel like my strut should have been messed up by now on this side because of that, but seems fine. I mean, it hasn't like gone down or anything. We're gonna see the damage on that later in the video though when I get over there. All right, we've officially finished the rear suspension on the Miata. After some looking at the front, which we're about to go over, I decided to just go ahead and finish the rear first. That's pretty good clearance. That's about the right height I was looking for. I can just fit like one finger in there barely. Honestly, being you know, a Japanese car, which I haven't owned one since my first car, which was a Honda, I did want it a little lower in the rear. But then again, it's also a drift car, so that's not bad suspension ride height at all. I think that might be perfect. But yeah, looking good over here. This side over here, looking good. And now let's get to why I did the rear first. So after finishing that one, while the car was jacked up, I was going to go ahead and hit this side right quick and get this knocked out because the Miata jack points are on the underbody right there. So I was going to go ahead and knock this out. Then this bolt is like completely round. I went to the store. I bought some bolt extractors. It's so rounded off that the bolt extractor was just spinning on it. So it's gonna be back to the drawing board on that one. I have one of my friends coming over to do unpaid labor tomorrow to help me out with this front suspension. Also noticed this right here. It fell through. Like I can see it down in there. A little terrifying. But honestly, I might not have to get this bolt off because I'm reusing the top hats. If I can just put the old one up through here and tighten it down and then put this bolt back on or this nut back on. And then this one over here, also scary. I did get both nuts off. I'm going to try doing something that I've been trying to put off, but I'm just going to go ahead and try to unbolt the entire like front suspension so it just kind of comes down. And maybe that'll give me enough clearance to get the strut out. This is really a two-person job. That's why I've got a buddy coming over tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and, you know, lift this thing up a little bit more. Take a look at the front suspension on this side because I've only seen that side so far. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this side and see how bad it really is. And we'll decide on if I try to tackle it tonight or if we're going to try to tackle it tomorrow. Okay, so we have everything we need removed, and at the cost of definitely not being able to drive this car until the suspension is finished, I made it a little safer to remove this thing, even though the strut is out of the top hat and the spring was no longer held in, meaning once this was removed, this spring was going to pop out, and I didn't know how much force it was going to have. Previous owner said he cut it. I believe that because, I mean, look at the rust on it, and if I can get the right angle, you can see it's got like metal shards, like it's not a factory cut at all. So it didn't have as much tension as I would have figured on it, which is good for what we need. But yeah, so I got it a little safer. Tomorrow we're probably going to try to get this out. I need someone to be able to put something up under there, like a big ass pry bar. Get it up under there, stand on it, get this down, this up out of here, and yeah. So let's tonight I'm gonna chill, but for you guys and right now we're gonna do it. All right, everyone, just disregard everything I said in that last clip. Other friend fell through, so we found a way. you know, where there's a will, there's a way, and I just busted the shit out of my finger. But it's out of the car, top hat's off, the suspension. Yeah, that was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. Now on to phase 2. Putting the new suspension back together. All right, this side of the car is now fully complete. And look at that fitment. This actually looks so damn clean. I cannot wait to finish up this side and probably take it out on the road, give it a little drive, because it's been like, I don't know, almost a week. So I'm ready to get it back out on the road, finish up this side of the suspension. Let's do it. All right, and after enough white girl music to piss off a guy that drives a Harley and makes it his personality, that's the last strut finished. It's up in there, looking good. And honestly, so I did max these out. This is as low as they can get. And for that reason, you know, I did that because 1, I want a low center of gravity on the car, and 2, these coilovers maxed out are what my old ride height was because the previous owner cut the springs. As you can see here, they don't look like that from factory. That's an angle grinder. But that being said, we are about the same height that we were. But also, I'm just hoping it rides better because 2 reasons. This car is 30 years old as of this year, meaning those struts are more than likely 30 years old. Now, while they weren't blown out or anything, I'm sure they were not as good as they could have been. So this is brand new suspension all around, and I'm sure that's going to help with drifting, hopefully. And I am also just so glad to have this done and out of the way. The wheels and suspension are on the car, and look at that. We only lost 1 bolt. Or, I mean, none. But we will find that probably eventually, hopefully. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this wheel back on the car. And probably going to go ahead and take it to the wash down the street because it is all grimy and dusty, and the windshield has had a plastic bag that melted on that, spray all over it. So, that being said, let's get this wheel on, drop the car, and take it to the car wash.